finishing off a real simple job today. Just thought I'd hop on here, show you guys how I digitized it because the design is pretty simple. Here's the finished product. But like I always say, it's these simple designs that you got to be extra careful because they got to look crisp. You can't have a real simple design and then not execute it almost or to perfection. So we'll jump into Hatch, check out how I digitize this thing. We got somewhat small text. It's not really that small, but I'll show you the sizing of it. He wanted some with white and black, and then he also wanted some in red. Same logo and everything, just different colored thread. And by the way, these hats, I've never actually worked on them. I've worked on flex fits. I guess most flex fits are fitted, but these are really nice. They got the stretchy sweatband in there, and they're solid. So I'm gonna start trying to promote these as well for my business. All right, here's the finished result. Real simple. And then this was what we were working with. It's a business card, but the image itself was still pretty good. Nothing to it, no crazy little details. So you know, we got it done right. So usually for hats, you're supposed to embroider bottom up, center out. I always say that almost every video. I forget and then I don't do it. So for this one, I did it. All right, and you should be as well whenever you can. A lot of times I just get lucky, still comes out fine, but it does help out big time. So that's how it sews out. Second thing, these letters. This is just like a real generic type font. Usually if it's something simple like this and the font itself is not like part of the overall design, the integrity of it, then I just go ahead and either use like a block font that comes with Hatch 2 or Times New Roman. I still try to stick as close to the original, but not once has there been a time where somebody has pinpointed that is not the exact font. Again, unless the font itself is the design, you know, then you do want to make sure you digitize like that. Just to give you guys an idea, I know most people work in millimeters, so all of these words are broken up, but these small letters are 4.6 millimeters in height, where these capital letters are 6.7 millimeters in height. So not really tiny. Again, what I also do see here, mine reaches a little bit lower on this line. So I took the original image, and then what I do, I squeeze the letters together so that then I can make the entire thing bigger overall, and that'll help me with getting crisp lettering. For stitching, since they are small, center run, sometimes you don't even need that. You just take off all underlay and it comes out great. You don't need zigzag, especially no edge run, nothing like that. So just take off all underlay on small text or leave a center run in there. Nothing special here. Center run for this satin. Nothing to see here, folks. Same with the shield, solid shape. I have my start at the bottom, finishing at the top. Over here on the side, you can see I pulled these a little bit more to the side. They're not exactly in the middle of the satin. That's for your push and pull comp. And same with the bottom. It's not in the middle. Now for the bottom and the top, because of the angle, I'm sticking those further up and down so that when it gets pushed out, it still matches inside of that satin border. Now for these little objects here, what I did was just make sure that I try to connect everything as much as possible. Everything here was a satin. When you're working with really small stuff, really small details, satins are usually the way to go. So I went satin here. The angle, I just kept it like that. And the next thing that I connected it to was this bar here. So I made sure that the end point connected to that. Stitching, you go to automatic trim, you turn that off, and now you know it's gonna jump straight into this object here without a trim, like that. Same thing, instead of getting a trim, let's just continue to this little small object in the middle. So let's turn that off. And blammo, just gotta change that angle so it's perfect and they end smoothly. Now this one here, you could have a jump stitch. If you put automatic trim off on this one, it's gonna leave a thread behind when it goes to do the next object. But if I leave it off, it's gonna cut it and then do this next shape over here. Now I'm right clicking here. Those are all right clicks. And then I come to digitize holes. I press T so I can see what's underneath. Double click, okay. It's a little lopsided, but it's okay. Here we add stitch angles so that it goes around smoothly. And then once again, automatic trim off so that it could jump onto this last piece right here. Change that angle, straight 0, so it's left to right. And boom. It'll stitch that out cleanly with only one tie-in, tie-off when it jumps from here to there. And something similar for the hammer. I didn't do anything special, didn't add any extra details. It's just one satin for the handle and then connecting to the head of the hammer and the border. Pretty simple. These nails, I let them sit under the border. Just thought that would look clean. It's just same thing, satin with an angle right here, and then with an angle satin that way. The last thing, if I put this thing dead smack in the center, it shows me this. So this is the stitching of the hat right here, 0. This is how I would stitch out. It might look a little lopsided because there's like 2 major parts to this logo, the shield and the text. So what I did, I scooted the whole thing over, but I kept my midpoint right here. So that's where the seam of the hat's going to be. Even though there's a little bit more going on over here, it still looks really centered and evenly distributed. But you'll see that right now when we stitch it out, which is what we got to do right now. You guys know I got to have the mess. I just went whoop, cleared up some space. Also, the more that I've been using this really thin stabilizer that I was saying I was going to have to double up most of the time, I haven't really had a reason to double it up much. Most of these hats don't need much stabilizing, and this is more than enough. This is what I've been using so far, so happy about that. These hats too, like I mentioned, really nice. You got the sweatband that I'm gonna, you know, put it over like this. It's clean, I like it. Really liking these hats. Just like that. Clean, no clips on the side, don't need it, it's just ready to go onto the machine. Before starting to run this thing, just wanted to say thank you guys for the likes, the subs, also sub if you haven't already. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. We're gonna keep on going with more embroidery videos, not gonna stop. So here's to another one. I already have my color set up. It's just white, black, white in that order. Since I already ran this logo, it's gonna go to its start position when I load up the design. Boom, just like that. All I have to do is center it, and it's ready to go. Let's start with the letters at 600 stitches per minute. Once it's done with the letters and it's doing the shield, since it's a larger area to fill up, not a lot of detail, I bump it up to 700 stitches per minute. Now that it's doing the shield part, let's crank that up. 700. Little tip, or at least what happened to me in one of these that I was running, it was one with the red thread, so it was doing this, but when it was doing the fill, I noticed there was the edge run was sticking out, like way out here. All I had to do in that instance was tighten my top tension. So if you do get that where your object has the underlay sticking out, it might be that you need to tighten your top tension. I tightened it and then the rest came out perfect. So just keep that in mind, that could be an issue. Here we go. I'm just blocking the number right there, but we're looking crispy. I don't know right now if in the video it showed, but the white getting towards the top, there was some loose threads. Sometimes on TikToks or whenever I'm doing this, I get the question of why I put the lighter on it. That's exactly why, in case there was some really light loose threads like those on those fills. That just fixes it up, tightens it up. Of course, you don't want to actually burn them off. That fixes that. The last thing I do is wet the bottom here. That's where the presser foot hits as it's running along. So I just wet that a little bit and it fixes it up. Here's a stabilizer for this one because it's like a lot of separated objects. It is kind of annoying because you got to dig in there in between the letters and stuff, but no big deal. Still pretty easy cleanup. Hit that with the lighter as well and it's done. And that is about it. Right on time too. It's about that time we go pick up our baby from school. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Real simple. Hopefully there's a tip here or there that could help you out. And I gotta get out of here. As always, hit the like and sub button. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'm out. Deuces.